Well, Rob Field, welcome back to the program.
Good to be here. First segment went well.
Well, I hope so. Hopefully we still have
fun.
Yeah, hopefully we still have a listening audience. I think this next topic is such an important one, though, because we're going to start to talk about the conversation about products that, at the end of the day, really require a much greater discussion of what we need to be talking about in terms of our clients. And, you know, it's easy. This is probably one of the most misunderstood topics in the industry, and an increasingly oversold yet misunderstood product that, of course, if you're a regular listener to the show, you know that we have never really had a particularly high opinion of this product, right, Rob?
No, that's true. We've never been a fan of annuities for a variety of reasons. First of all, they're very complicated. You know, it's people, the salesman who's trying to show it to them makes it sound real simple, like, hey, it's just really, really good money and great income for you. Then we come, where we get involved is people come in, they've already got it, they're stuck with it. And now they're like, what can I do? And there's not a lot of options once you get to that point. Again, what we find out is most people don't understand exactly what they invested in.
Yeah. Although in some cases, particularly of late, Rob, I think folks have been able to come to us in the presentation part. And that's one of the things we're going to kind of dig into as we have the opportunity to really walk a client through exactly what was in that 20-page presentation and really help to kind of illuminate what the real deal was behind all of that. Certainly, when we think about annuities, we've seen a dramatic increase in sales that unfortunately accompanied by a dramatic decrease in investor understanding of these products. So let's start there, Rob. What exactly is an annuity? Let's define that for our listeners.
All right, so just an actual definition of the annuity is it's a contract. It's between an insurance company and an individual. It does guarantee a series of payments in exchange for the premiums they put in or a lump sum, something like that. Then these payments are guaranteed for a specific period of time. Could be for somebody's life, could be for a period certain. And it's just your standard, give me some money, I'm going to throw you some money back. Now, it sounds attractive when somebody says to you, hey, I'm going to pay you an income for the rest of your life. You don't have to worry about, no matter how long you live, you get income. But when you run the numbers, when you actually say, well, performance-wise, what kind of performance do I get? It's really a letdown.
Well, and that's such an important statement you just made there, because I think that's probably one of the biggest issues with the annuity conversation is that they are more than willing to sort of count the return of your money back to you as part of their quote unquote return. And that leads to a lot of misunderstanding, and I would even go so far as to say misleading advertising in terms of what it is that you actually get. Another term that you hear a lot about is this guaranteed retirement income benefit. Another one where, okay, it sounds like you're going to get a pretty high level of guarantee income. Maybe it's 6%, 7%, whatever the case may be. But that is again, not really how it actually works.
Right. It's not comparing apples and apples, because what they're telling you is a guaranteed income. It's not guaranteed return or an interest rate or anything like that. They're just telling you, we're going to send you some money. We guarantee we'll send you that amount of money. But as we're going to notice in a couple of minutes, it's not always about how well it performs. It's about giving up control.
Yeah, no, and to your point, guaranteed income for life is not a guaranteed return for life. I think that's a great expression that I've heard you use at the office before. So you've got sort of 5 different concepts or terms that you typically hear in these annuity presentations that unfortunately sound a lot alike and oftentimes used quite interchangeably. So let's talk about those 5 unique terms and kind of get into the details a little bit, if you would.
Sure. And a lot of these terms, you'll hear them in the investment industry in general, but they're specific to an annuity. It means a little bit different. The first thing you always hear is about the interest rate, because that's what people walk in. They say, they have told me that they're going to give me 8% interest, and that's an income number, and part of that comes from their actual investment. An interest rate is really just a stated percentage creates a dollar amount. Typically, you see just a standard interest bearing, something like a savings account at the bank, a money market, or a fixed annuity. But then you go to the next step and you start talking about the word yield, which is what does that really equate to? And then at times you start talking about, like on a bond where the bond price can fluctuate, the yield could be a different number than the interest rate.
Sure, you got the yield to maturity, you got the yield to call. I mean,
Correct.
Yield can mean all kinds of things depending upon how you're referencing it back to the ultimate product.
Right. In the bond market, bond prices change to make the yield comparable with what the current interest rates are in the bond market. Not to go too deep into that, but yield's a little different than interest, and obviously we can explain that in great detail if somebody wants to chat more D's. The other thing we look at is return. So return is now the whole ball of wax, I think of. It's what you might get in interest, what you might get in dividends, the growth that you get. That's our total return. And then that can be computed and shown to somebody as, your annual return or year-to-date return or monthly returns, things like that. The next one, this is where the annuities kind of come in, is income. Because income is not related to your return. It's not related to the interest you earn. It's the amount of money that comes out of an investment. So this is where the annuity company sort of entices people, because they'll say, and we hear this a lot, we're going to guarantee you 8% for the rest of your life. And most people take that at face value to say, oh, I'm going to earn 8%. Guaranteed.
That's my return, right?
Right. That's my return. And it's not, because we're going to talk a little bit about the guarantees and the values. You're giving up the investment itself when you flip a switch and decide to have it create income. We're big on income. I mean, obviously, we have our clients who are taking income, and we work with them to decide if that income number is comparable with their investment objectives. But we don't guarantee them an income. We don't guarantee anything. We simply try to tell them, here's what the market can bear, and here's an income stream we're comfortable with recommending for you.
No, that's very true. But to that point, guarantee, that word, and I remember my late father-in-law using, saying it this way, and I think it's important to remember. When you talk about guarantee, guarantee winds up being the most expensive word in the English language. I mean, there's just no other way to describe it. And at the end of the day, there ain't nothing guaranteed in this world other than taxes, and eventually you'll hit the dirt.
Right, which is a good point that you're bringing up. If a client is looking, or a prospect is looking at something and they're being told you're going to be guaranteed something, be real careful about what it really is, because it's not a guaranteed return. It's a guaranteed income. And you'll realize real quickly some of that income is just your own money coming right back. Which brings us to that last phrase, which in the annuity world is annuitization. This is their way of saying we're going to generate income. And so that annuity, you'll notice they don't tell you an annuitization rate. They tell you the income rate, because they want it to sound like you're getting a nice big income. That's going to be, they're looking at your longevity. And the reason that the insurance company is looking at your longevity is because they're planning on giving you a lot of your money back, but they don't want to give you more back than they think you would live to. So you just got to understand their calculation is not on their estimated returns. It's based on what they think you're going to live to.
Well, and that's the whole concept. I mean, these are insurance company issued products. So, yes, there is the guarantee, but the guarantee only lasts so long as ultimately that insurance company can make the right calculation in terms of what your life expectancy actually is, so that they don't get in the business of overpaying people. That would be a problem for the insurance company when they wind up overpaying people based on kind of how the numbers are that they have projected. So, Rob, that's a lot of terms.
True.
An awful lot of them seem to sound a lot alike. We're going to get into the specifics of a proposal that we helped that a client brought into us to break down. And we're going to do that after these messages here on Dollars and Cents with Joel Garris and Rob Field of Nelson Financial Planning.